We may be very comfortable at this moment with our jewelry, with our car, with our house, with our clothes, with what we have, with our food and dinner we're going to have after this. We may be very comfortable. How many years have we been doing that? What benefit does it bring us? The question here is not to engage in that or not. The question here is that it? Is that it? Is that all? Illogical. Totally illogical. In Dharma, Dharma means correct conduct. Dharma doesn't only refer to Buddha Dharma. It refers to any type of Dharma that's correct conduct. But in particular to Buddha Dharma, or Buddha's teachings, it operates on logic, thinking, discussion, and talk. Because Buddha told you to listen to the words that are spoken and accept it on the basis of analysis, like a goldsmith to gold. By burning, by rubbing, by testing. Do not be dazzled by the speaker, which in his case he meant the Buddha, or his brilliance, or his attainments, or his enlightenment. But be sure that his words prove sound in your mind. When it proves sound in your mind, then faith is born. Faith born of logic brings results. Faith born of fear, illogic, ignorance, or simple not checking brings no results. Hence, fanatics. You have Buddhist fanatics, Christian fanatics, you have fanatics in all religions who simply follow what someone says or simply follow ridiculous philosophies that were never taught. What are ridiculous philosophies? Anything that hurts another being is ridiculous. Any religion that teaches harm to another, whatever justification, is ridiculous and illogic. Because why? We don't need religion to teach us to kill, to steal, to lie, to cheat. We're doing very well on our own. Why would we need a religion to tell us to kill our neighbor if he hurts us? We don't need that because we know animals do that. If we go onto their territory, they're going to bark at us, they're going to bite us, they're going to gnaw us apart. Humans should be better. So we don't need a religion to teach us how to be evil, nasty, hurt people, and damage people. Religion is a science of the mind which gives you a logical explanation of your state of mind and where you exist and how you exist. And by understanding, we rehabituate. By daily rehabituation, through meditation, moving the energy channels in our body through chanting, through contemplation, we'll see a definite difference in mind. Definite difference in our mind. What do we want to achieve in religious practice? In all religious practice. In this case, let's focus on Buddhism since we're here. What do we wish to achieve in religious practice? Is that from last year, the year before, the year before that, the year before that, we see a substantial change in our minds. We're less angry. We're less attached to money. We forgive easier. We see the more importance in life, which is not food, or husband and wives, or a house, or a country, or a name, or a position. Those are not important. We've had that. It doesn't get us anywhere. What is important is our state of mind. What have we been doing for the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? What have we been doing? Is our mind exactly the same as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago? Angerson? Jealous? Petty? Small? Complaining? Is it still like that? Or is it more forgiving? More easy? Let go? Are we still in need of the same things we needed 20, 30, 40 years ago to feel inverted commas secure? Are we still attached or we've let go? I'm not talking about basic necessities such as food and a comfortable house and in medicine when you're sick, a comfortable bed. I'm not talking about those. Those everybody needs. I'm talking about, I still need a husband. I still need a wife. I still need a partner. I still need this clothes. I need this brand. I need this jewelry. I need this building. I need this place. I need to have this title, this name, and then I'll be happy. Are you, at your age, still looking for that? If at your age you're still looking for comfort and security and things that do not bring that, then your mind has not progressed. And that's how you can check how you've used your life, positively or negatively. So as the years go by, are you a source of inspiration for people around you? When you show up, you bring happiness to people. Is your advice adhered to or people run away from you? As the years go by, are you a presence of inspiration to other people? Is your presence, when you speak, people admire you and say, wow, Or are you someone that people don't pay attention to, run away from, avoid, not interested in. And if you have so-called wisdom to disperse that people are not there to listen to, then that's not people's fault. That is your fault. Because why? You have lived your life in such a way that you have chased after things that have no significance. Wine, women, and song. I mean, to make a long story short. For women, shopping, clothes, and diamonds. I know that's a little feminist, a little biased. I'm just kidding. A little chauvinistic, rather chauvinistic. My point is this, is that if now, in this point of your life, you're still trying to win an argument with people, that's the most important thing. If you're faced with someone and you have some kind of debate and you have to win, and if you don't win, you're not happy. And you're not happy with that person. When they see you, when you see them, you make them upset, they make you upset, and you're still doing that year after year after year, you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 70, you're still trying to win, you wasted your life. Because that's what you needed 30, 40, 50 years ago. Why are you still at that level? Why do you still need to win? When we look at a person, we want them sagely, loving, with wisdom, and to impart things. In fact, I mean, people who've lived a while should not be asking for advice, they should be giving advice. If you're still asking for advice, something's seriously wrong. If you're giving advice, not you force it down people's throats, you better listen to me because I'm smarter than you. That's not advice. Then something's wrong. So that's how you can check. That's a yardstick. That's not criticism of anybody. That is a yardstick according to Lamrim. It's a yardstick. How to check what you've done with your life. So when we close our eyes for the last time, we never open them again. What have we done with our lives? Have we eaten, slept in nice places, had nice partners and friends, and that's it? That's no better than an animal. What have we done for the last 5 years? What have we done for the last 10 years? What have we done for the last 20, 30 years? What have we done? This is not something someone else asks you. This is something you ask yourself. What have you done? And what have you done? Are you still looking for the same thing now? If you're looking for the same thing now, you're in serious trouble. Because why? This need, this search, this perpetual drinking salt water to quench the thirst will carry over to you when you're old, when you're dying, and into your next life. And the cycle goes on and on and on and on, never cut. Hence it's called samsara, a cyclic or cycle of existence. You have the power to cut that out. You have that power. It's up to you. So you have to think, spiritual practice is not going to place in chanting and knowing the stuff and debating. What is spiritual practice? Let me define it for you right now. Clear and simple, straightforward. How much has your mind changed from negative to positive? And don't tell me that it's changed this much, minute. Why? You don't have time for your mind to change minutely. Each time your mind doesn't change, you exist in anger, in desire, in attachment, in greed. Each moment your mind exists in that is rehabituating those negative qualities, which will take you to a negative state of rebirth. Never mind, never state of rebirth, which some of you may not accept at this time. In this life, it brings you to a negative state of existence. With people around you, with your spouse, with your friends, with everybody around you. Why? Nobody wants to be around an angersome, hateful, selfish, greedy, miserly, calculated person. No one. No one. Even I don't. I'm sorry. No one. So in this life, you're not happy having that kind of mind. Whether it's with your children, maybe with the children, with a few people, you can force it down their throats to accept you, but it doesn't mean they accept you from their heart. So in this life, if you can transform that state of mind, and I'm not talking about minutely, 1%, 2%, I'm talking about drastically change. You have pursued spiritual practice correctly. If you're still exactly like you are, or minutely changed or slightly changed, don't sit there and pat yourself on the back. Well, I've changed. I haven't changed that much, but I've changed. Look, what you've changed, happy birthday to you. What you have not changed is what will drag you down. So if you're still interested in money, give me money, business money, give me money, I'll sleep for it, I'll eat it, I'll do anything you want, give me money. If that's what you're interested in, that's not bad. But will it help you? People tell you it's bad to want money. I love money. You can throw it at me, throw it at me, man. Give me money. You know, when I'm done with teachings, I expect thick ones like this. It better not be $1 bills, by the way. US dollar can. I love money, you love money. But if we keep looking for money, that's great. But, is that the answer? I know hundreds of people. I've met thousands of people. Thousands. Because of what I do. And I know people who have millions and millions and billions, some billions of dollars. And they are the most unhappiest people and the most scared and insecure people I've ever met. When they come inside the audience room to meet me, they close the door and they cry immediately. They'll give me any amount to help them. Of course, I'm tempted to take it, but I'm thinking about karma next life. So, if you still have a hang-up, when you talk with somebody, who is right and who is wrong? For the last 20 years, 30 years, 40, some of you are 50, 60 years old, you still want to be right, you still want to talk about it, you want to explain yourself. Take a break from yourself. What difference does it make what you explain? What difference does it make people understand you or not? The important thing is, do you understand yourself? Do you understand yourself, meaning what? What you're doing to yourself when you do that. I don't want to use these big new age words and say, oh, here we are, Do you understand yourself means what? Let me define. It means when you do those kind of actions, do you understand how much unhappiness it brings yourself and others? If you do, why do you continue? So if you're attached to money, some of us are very attached to money. Some of us are very attached to form, nice clothes, nice form. Some of us are very attached to good food. It's a big issue where they eat, what kind of food, why, what kind of food. Unless you have a health problem, you take care of your food. If you don't, just flow with it. Flow with it. No problem. So you got to check yourself. What is spiritual practice if your same hang-ups have been continuing up to now? Are you still making excuses? When I make my $1 million, I'm going to do Dharma. When I make my $1 million, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Are we? Are we still breaking commitments? We make promises to people. Oh, I'm sorry, you break your commitments and then you just continue making broken commitments. Are we still the same? Are we still angersome? If we're still angersome, never mind they say, oh, you're a Buddhist now, you're still so angry with it. Never mind what they think and say, that's another form of attachment. But are you happy being unhappy? Are you happy making other people unhappy? And yeah, it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. It doesn't really matter. You know what's right or wrong? What is right or wrong is how happy you feel and unhappy. And happy and unhappy is not determined solely on outer physical environment. It is definitely a state of mind. How is it a state of mind? It is a state of mind through development and rehabilitation. How does rehabilitation development come along? Let me share with you. By getting knowledge. How do you get knowledge? Exactly what we're doing right now. These 1-2 hours you're spending with me are very precious. Not because you're listening to me battling away on the throne. But I'm nothing special. But what I have to share with you is very special. Because it comes from a living, genuine lineage. So therefore, spirituality is of the spirit. What is the spirit? Of the mind. It's how much you have transformed. And we have to stop making excuses for how much we have not transformed. Because why? Time is short. Life is short. And do we wish to go on with death, next life, empty-handed? Literally empty-handed. Is that what we want? Think about everything you have in the bank, at your house, in whatever, in investments. How will that help you at the time of death? And that is not to say, oh, don't have it. That's not the point either. The point is, your point of focus is the development of the mind. Because the mind can be taken with you. The mind. So when you pass away, it is your mind and what is developed that will pass into the next life. And if in this life you're like that, in your next life you'll probably be the same. Look at yourself now to know what you were in your previous life. Look at what you're doing now to know what you're going to be in your next life. Very clear. So if you're very attached to food, to sleep, to sex, most likely you will take rebirth as an animal. Not because you're bad. Those are the traits of the causes of taking rebirth as an animal. So if you like sleeping, you like food, you're very particular about that, and you like, well, let's not say sex because we're in the temple, let's say boobly. Alright, if you like boobly a lot, and that's all you're interested in, I mean, that's all, nothing else, that's you live for it, you'll probably take rebirth as an animal. Because why? Those are the traits of an animal. And you create causes for it. If you're angersome, You always want to be right. And every day you find fault with people. You complain, you gossip, you talk about people. Behind their back, even people who benefit you, even people who help you, even people who show you love and compassion, you still backbite and you say negative things about them. And whatever they do for you is never enough. If you're that type of person full of anger, ungrateful, all the time, it'll be most likely in your next life you'll take rebirth, if it's human, in a very unattractive, dark form. Dark doesn't mean skin color. Dark in persona, dark in look. Very unpleasant, very nasty, very not nice looking person. When people see you on sight, they don't like you. Or if it's very severe in one of the hells. Of course, it's not permanent. You come out when that karma is exhausted. If you're always interested in money, you hoard it. You want it. You don't want to share it. You're calculative about it. Your focus is money. Everything about you is money, 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 money. But you say you're practicing Dharma. There's a double damage there. Why? You bring the Dharma down. People who hoard money, who are interested in money, who always focus on money, they're very difficult for them to secure sponsorship for the Dharma. Very difficult for them to secure help or any kind of financial help for the Dharma. Why is that? They don't have the energy of sharing. When people go near them, they don't have the karma to receive, to get. So consequently, there are around 20,000 rich people. If they ask for opening a lawyer firm, they open up egg farm, they open up some business, they'll get the money. Why? Those are businesses that bring them down, that bring negative karma. They'll get money for that very easy. But for higher things, positive things, example, Dharma institutions that benefit people, it's very difficult for them to secure money. Why? They themselves create the causes not to get, give, receive, take on the empowerment of giving. They don't have that merit. They don't have that karma. And those people are likely to become more rich, have more and more money. Unfortunately, their state of being is the same as if someone had no money. Why? They're not able to spend it. And it causes them pain. And the more they have, they suffer even more and they become even miserly. And as age takes over, they can go insane. And they'll alienate people around them. But definitely, they're not able to secure money from other people. Why? They don't have the giving energy. If you talk about sharing, giving, and charity, and you don't give, you don't do, why do you think other people will be affected by your talk? You have to practice what you preach. You have to practice what you preach. So if you're very attracted to money, hoarding money, getting wealth, and especially at the expense of others with a lot of mind games, very definite. You will take rebirth either in a very poverty-stricken area where the very means of life is very difficult. Then you think in many places around the world you see these type of people. No matter what they do, I'm sorry, they're in poverty. Why? No matter what their government does, no matter what their country does, what their village does, they're always in poverty, murdered in poverty. Why? There must be a cause that resembles the result. There must be a cause that resembles the result. And worst case scenario, they take rebirth as spirits that wander perpetually, very hungry, very thirsty, for the time for that karma to exhaust. So these actions we do, we gain some temporary benefit. We think we get benefit. If we listen to the Dharma, we have to practice. If our teacher advises us not to do that, we don't wait till tomorrow, next week, next year. We got to do it now. Otherwise, why have a teacher? Why be in Dharma? Why do Dharma work? You're doing well creating negative karma on your own. Why? If you're around a Dharma teacher, why fight the Dharma teacher? If you're around a Dharma teacher, why protest and not follow what he says? If your teacher is sincere and real, if he is sincere and real upon examination, then you should follow wholeheartedly the teachings he gives you. Why? If they are based on a correct lineage and logical, they will do nothing but benefit you. If you don't, why go through the motions of practicing but you don't? So we have to think, how old am I? What have I accomplished that is different than an animal with respect to everyone? That is in the words of Pablo Rinpoche, by the way. And where am I going to? That's what we need to think. If we think about that and fear arises, very good. That type of fear will make us do something more with our lives. There's much more than just going for dinner, going for watching a nice TV show and going to sleep and that's it. And then, just plodding through life blur. Much, much more. Much more. Today I have given you a very small drop in the oceanic teachings of Lord Buddha. I summarize it for you without a translator in your language. easily and directly. I've said it in your example, in your words. I've done this without no motivation to receive something, a gift, or anything from you. I came here, simply, I felt that I need to come and give a talk to some people here. And those of you who have the fortune, with respect and to humility, to be here, you were meant to be here, you have the karma to listen. Those of you who are not able to will have to attend another time. But you have some affinity to hear these words that will change your life. Why would it change your life? Because I said it? No. Not because I said it. Because these words ring truth in your mind. Because with your logic and intelligence, you say, yes, that makes sense. You're not attracted to the teacher. You're not overwhelmed by the teacher. You're overwhelmed by the words. You're overwhelmed by the words because they make sense. You're overwhelmed by the words because you have the logic to say, yes, it makes sense. The next step is to do something. If we're going to be spiritual, we have to be spiritual. Spirituality is not being in a room chanting and praying and making offerings. Spirituality is being different than what we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Whatever we have attachment to, whatever we have desire toward, whatever we have grasping toward, we have to let go. We have to replace it with compassion, giving, openness, trusting. We have to. Because if we don't, what is the karma that we create? What will arise? Who can help us? Death is imminent. That should be our motivation.